Hi, it's Peter Strong here. I'm the CEO of the Council of Small Business, and I'm not at this year's summit. Very disappointing. Doctor's orders, bit of a hint, if you're going to eat party pies, do it in moderation. Let me suggest that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a really interesting summit, given that it's just after a very close election. It's not called yet. It looks like that Malcolm Turnbull will come back as Prime Minister, and that we will continue on, hopefully in the same vein that we've continued on, that we've had before. Now, one of the interesting things from the election that I've looked at is that certainly we were disappointed in the Labor Party. We believe that if they had embraced small business, the effects test, if they'd agreed to the $10 million new threshold for definition of a small business, if they'd focused on us more, then there's a good chance they'd be in power, because we would have come out and, instead of condemning their policies, we would have said good things about them. One of the really disturbing things I found from the election was the argument around penalty rates. The fact is, the only people who pay those stupid high penalty rates on Sundays is basically small business people. All the big businesses have done a deal with the Shoppers Union, with the SDA, so that they pay lower than award rates. In some cases, they don't even pay penalty rates at all. And that's a disgrace, and that's something we need to confront, and we will confront over the next few years. We need to make workplace relations simpler as well, a lot simpler. At the moment, it seems that there's probably 3 unions that are running the Labor Party. There's probably 12 businesses that they're completely in bed with, that are doing the wrong thing by everybody, that are just looking after themselves, not looking after society or community or our culture. And that's something I know that a lot of our speakers would be perhaps not mentioning, but they're all part of that battle that we've got to make sure there's fairness and transparency out there in the world, and not just in the business world, but right across society. We'll be looking at that, and one of the reasons we can do that is because of our sponsors. In small business, when a bakery or a chemist or a panel beater or someone like that sponsors a local football team, a local sports team, a local netball team, or they sponsor a charity, they often don't want a lot in return, except the obvious advertising of seeing the name of their business on the back of a shirt somewhere. But it's always good to have the support when people come after the game and they buy a pie, not too many pies, but they buy a pie, they buy cakes, they go and get their car fixed. If it needs fixing, they go to that particular pharmacy to buy their necessary medicines and things. And so we like to mention our sponsors in the same way. Ladies and gentlemen, Vodafone is our major sponsor, and they have been last year, and they are going to be again next year, and they're fantastic people to work with, really, really good people to work with. Amex, I don't have my Amex card. Amex, of course, is sponsoring us, and that's greatly appreciated. We've got Energy Australia as a new sponsor, and we're working with them around a thing called Small Business First, which we're working with AJ Kosh and Jamie Tradd and a few others. That should be interesting. And we've got, of course, Google. Everybody knows the name Google. In the past, Google and Cosborough have had a few discussions about whether they have a monopoly, but with the introduction of apps, of course, apps just bypass Google and bypass lots of things. So Google have a lot of competition out there. Google are good to work with, and it's good to have them there. And of course, we've got the Fair Work Ombudsman is supporting us. We've got the Australian Tax Office. We've also got other sponsors there, and I'd like to thank them a lot. Vodafone, thank you. I don't want to get hat here. I hope you don't mind if I take this off. So the future for Cosbo is looking great. In the main, we have, because we have a really good chairman and a really good board. It's a really joy to work with them. They've looked after me over the last few weeks, and I appreciate that. And the reason we have a good board and a good chairman is because we've got a great membership. I think the membership's going to grow this year. So thank you for that, and I hope you enjoy the summit. I think you will. There's a lot of meaty things going on there. There'll be areas where we need to discuss exactly what do we do in the future, and we may disagree, but that's the beauty of it. That's what we've got to do to get good policies going. I know that Kelly O'Dwyer's quite upset she couldn't make it, and she'll be making up for that, she said, over the next 12 months, and we'll be working with her to make sure she does a Cosboa event every 2 weeks. That would be making up for it, I would have thought. Kate Carnell, of course, is our ombudsman, and Kate's doing a fantastic job bedding the organisation down at the moment, looking at what can be done, looking at how to support small business, making some very good statements, and that's fantastic. So enjoy what you're doing. Thank you very much.